See, my intention is not to punish you. My intention is to help you. I know it will be very difficult. It will be very, very difficult. Right? But however, we have no other choice. Yeah? It is we chose this path. Right? UPSC is not calling you that please come and save the nation. உங்களை நம்பி தான் இருக்கு வாங்க. UPSC is not saying. Imagine if there is no such competition, there will be no exam. Yes or no? There will be no prelims at all. Assume only 10,000 people are applying. There's no need for prelims. Directly we can write mains. Right? So, it is we who chose this path. So, it will be difficult and the cinema I cannot make it more interesting by bringing hero or heroine. That is also not possible. However, tiger is our hero. We will discuss about tiger. But before that, extinct species I said already. This is pink-headed duck, Indian cheetah, great Indian bustard. Right? In the UNCCD conference, scientists were saying that these are extinct because of land desertification, loss of habitat. Okay? I said this already. So we'll move on to the next topic. I said in red list, it is critically endangered in red list. But however, they were saying that it is extinct. Red list has, I said, 9 different sections. Alright? Starting from not evaluated, it goes till extinct. In all basic environment books, you know the definition for these. Don't memorize the definitions. What is the condition? Memorize panna vendam. Okay, some idea you should have. Tamil Nadu becomes the 5th state to announce state butterfly. 2016 prelims question that which among the below states have recently announced state butterfly? Answer Maharashtra. I stated Arunachal Pradesh. Somewhere I read there is a national park for butterfly in Arunachal Pradesh. I thought there should be some link. But link illa. Maharashtra. Okay, 5th state. So Maharashtra, Kerala, Karnataka, Uttarakhand. Now Tamil Nadu becomes the 5th state to announce state butterfly. Okay, it is called as Tamil Yemen, Tamil Maravan, Tamil warrior. Okay, endemic to Western Ghats. But our area of interest is not about this particular species, but butterfly in general. A very important pollinator. It indicates the environmental health. Presence of butterfly shows that the environment is healthy. Movement of butterfly is used for environmental mapping, climate change mapping. Right? It's a very important, it plays an important role in the food chain of different, in the overall food web. Right? One new frog species was found. See, generally UPSC, sometimes they ask about recently found species and all, but they focus on the species which is found in India. In Canada, some species is found. Generally, they won't ask. But if it is found in India, what species, where it was found, endemic to which region, Eastern Ghats or Western Ghats, something like that they can ask. Found in Chota Nagpur Plateau region in Jharkhand. Okay, which is locally called as Magadha burrowing frog. Right? Canine distemper virus. I remember I discussed canine distemper virus last year also. I'll briefly say. We can follow the notes later. Canine distemper virus. This canine distemper virus, it infects the dogs. The fatality rate is very, very high. If it is infected, there's more likely chance of this dog being dead. There is no cure for this particular infection. It's better to isolate the dog, allow the dog to die. Now what happens? So, before that, this virus results in a respiratory illness. It affects the nervous system of the dogs. It thickens the foot pad. Right? The foots of the dogs will be thickened. right? It affects, it results in paralysis of dogs. Symptoms, some pus-like discharge you can find from the eyes, right? And chewing jaws, constantly they will be chewing something. It appears as if they are chewing, right? One-sided, they try to fall, or they circle around a place because the nervous part is being attacked, right? Now we'll come to the forests. What happens? The forests are having carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is a particular region has a carrying capacity. That means it can withstand only that particular amount of species, beyond which it is not sustainable. Last year, why it was in news? Gir forest has a carrying capacity. It can carry around 300 lions. But Gir forest, right, it is holding, right now it is holding more than 500 lions. There will be a fight for resources. Gir forest is the only place for Asiatic, it's the abode of Asiatic lions, where in Yemen you will not find this species of lion. Carrying capacity is breached. Lack of resources. For food, these lions, they enter neighboring villages where they hunt the dogs. We have seen many YouTube videos also. Cheetah hunting dogs, tiger hunting dogs, because of resources. Lack of resources. Now from those dogs, if they are canine distemper infected, then that can enter into the big cats. CDV cannot directly infect the lions or tigers or cheetahs, right? So this is the problem. Almost 23 lions were dead last year in Gir forest because of this canine distemper virus infection. So following this National Tiger Conservation Authority, a statutory body which comes under, which derives power from Wildlife Protection Act, this Tiger Conservation Authority was giving out guidelines, right? So what action you should take once you find CDV infections. So now recently in Ranthambore Tiger Reserve, where it is? Rajasthan. 80+% of dogs are found that they are infected by CDV. So we have to protect the tigers, because tigers, if they hunt these dogs, then that can kill the tiger also. These are highly contagious. Airborne transmission is possible. They drink water from a water body. That water body will be contaminated because of this virus. It can easily spread. Are you clear? So Ranthambore, right, they are taking actions to make sure that the tigers are not infected by CDV. That is why it was in news. However, there were several other news regarding tiger in this year. Tiger census were also conducted. So I thought, let me explain about some topics related to tiger. Tiger Conservation Authority, as I said, it is a statutory body, right? So it derived power through Wildlife Protection Act 2006. I hope you all know about Project Tiger, to conserve tiger, what the government did. The tiger reserves are given some more focus. They are dividing the reserve into core zone, buffer zone. The core zone will be given a legal status similar to a national park, where the buffer zone, where you will find forest lands and the normal regular lands. The demarcation between buffer zone and core zone is done with the help of Grama Sabha and an expert committee appointed for this particular purpose. Right? So more focus will be given on the core areas. Tiger census is conducted by Tiger Conservation Authority of India. Once in 4 years they will conduct this census. They started since 2006. Right? In 2006, the number of tigers were 1,600 plus, around 1,400 plus, or 1,500 something, around 1,500. And now the number of tigers got doubled. So once in 4 years, in 2018 they conducted the census, and we were able to double this tiger count. Have you heard about T-Cross-2 initiative? 13 tiger range countries in 2011, they came with an commitment that they will double the tigers count by 2020 By 2022, just check the year, by 2022, we will be doubling the tiger count. The overall tiger count in 2010 or 11, I don't remember the exact year, was around 3,000 only. In which 1,600 was 1,500, almost 50% was in India. So now we doubled ahead of the target year. And this is done by National Tiger Conservation Authority. How it will be measured? By placing cameras, by measuring the footmarks, right? They will be measuring, and based on the stripes they are identifying, right? What kind of, they're differentiating the tigers. So we achieved the TX2 commitment, and that TX2 commitment is driven by Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, right? In 2006 it was 1411, and today it is 2967. Performing states: Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Uttarakhand. TX2, as I said, the count was around 3,200. So 13 tiger range countries: Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, China, India, Indonesia, Laos, PDR, Malaysia, Myanmar, Nepal, Russia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Next one, this is about a virus, herpes virus. Herpes virus is a sexually transmitted virus in general. One kind of herpes virus is called as elephant endotheliotropic herpes virus. This particularly infects the Asiatic elephants, that too young elephants. Fatality rate is very, very, very high. Recently, 3 elephants within a month in Odisha Zoo was, they died because of this EEHE virus. Are you clear? Symptoms: lethargy, unwillingness to eat, rapid heartbeat, decreased blood cell count, mouth ulcer, etc. Prickly pear cactus. You will find this cactus in the Mexico flag also. This is found in Mexico largely. Edible. These fruits, these are edible. Nothing real news illa. The pulp from this particular prickly pear cactus is used to create some packaging material, which offers a solution for the single-use plastic. Instead of plastic, we can go for this material derived out of this particular pulp from this prickly pear cactus. Recently, there was a breakthrough, right? Okay. About species, it will be largely one-liners, nothing to explain much in detail. Okay. So now we'll go to the international issues. Brexit. See, we all know, due to rise in nationalism in 1800s, there was wars in Europe. Eventually, that wars even led to world wars. So that world wars, it costed heavily, right? Large amount of wealth was lost. Human lives were lost. More than 5 crore people were dead because of these world wars. Right? It is not helping either of the country. Right? Both who won, who lost are getting affected. So too much of nationalism is not good. So the countries in Europe, they thought, why don't we get integrated? But integration is not easily possible. They thought economic integration. In 1950, they came with the Schuman Declaration, where France and Germany, the steel and coal industries, they said that we will come and work together. Then gradually they came with Paris Treaty, 51. Then they came with Treaty of Rome, 57. Where many countries in Europe, they were coming forward to integrate not just the industries, but also their economies. Schuman Agreement Declaration or Paris Treaty were resulting in integration of coal and steel industries. First only France and Germany came, then many other European countries came and joined. But Rome in 57, Treaty of Rome 57, they thought, okay, we'll integrate our economies. Like we'll sign some agreements, trade agreements. Right? So generally, you all know about preferential trade agreement, free trade agreement, common market, customs union, economic union. Yes or no? Any country, when they come up with some trade treaties, the first agreement which they will sign is preferential trade agreement in general. You can also bypass, but still. So when two countries signed preferential trade agreement, they agreed to reduce the level of customs duty imposed on goods. They are not abolishing, they are reducing. India, Pakistan signs this preferential trade agreement. They both will agree to reduce. Second level of integration, further integrating, free trade agreement. They will abolish the duty for most of the goods and services. RCEP was a proposed free trade agreement. The next level of integration is customs union. Further they are coming closer. Customs union. So here, all the tariff systems will be abolished. I mean, there will be no tariff between the goods which are being traded between India and Pakistan. They both will have a common tariff system against the other countries. Are you getting my point? India, Pakistan, they trade. They have signed customs union agreement. That means I purchase something from Kerala. Am I paying customs duty? I pay GST. Forget it. Customs duty, nothing. They sell to Chennai, someone in Chennai. They are not paying any export duty also. Right. So, as I said, if India and Pakistan are signing this customs union, then it appears that people in India and Pakistan, they can purchase anything from these countries without paying any customs duty. And these two countries will have a common tariff system with outside other countries. If India puts 10% taxes on import from America, Pakistan will also put 10% tax on imports from America. Common tariff system. The next level of integration is customs market. So this Treaty of Rome was coming up with customs market. Alright? Common market. Common market. So what is common market? Here, customs union plus free flow of labor and capital. Today, the currency convertibility is 100% in current account, not in capital account. Yes or no? I hope you all know what is currency convertibility. For trade purpose, I want to purchase $1 billion worth phones, iPhones from America. I can go to RBI, give my rupee, I can demand, give me rupee, dollars, equivalent dollars. However, I say, I am going to purchase a land in California worth $1 billion. I give rupee, RBI will not give the rupee as a matter of right. Rupee, dollars as a matter of right. Because for capital account, the rupee conversion, the convertibility is partial. In current account, it is 100%. So when two countries signs common market, free flow of labor, visa problem will not be there. Right? Freely I can move without this visa. As well as I can take money to these countries for investments. There will be no convertibility issues. The next level of integration is signing economic union, where the countries will have common currency, common central bank, common fiscal monetary policies. The next level of union is political union. They will have common parliament. European Union is actually getting transformed into a political union. Right? So, as I said, Treaty of Paris 51, Treaty of Rome 57, yes, they were signing common market. Then 1992, Maastricht Treaty, which created European Union. Right? Then 2007, Lisbon Treaty. This is a brief background about European Union. 2007, Lisbon Treaty, which is also called as Reforms Treaty. That treaty was giving provisions. That treaty is giving provisions regarding how to exit from this European Union. What is the procedure to exit the European Union? So in 2016, there are a large amount of protests were staged in Britain, right? There was a wide call for exiting the European Union, right? A referendum was conducted in Britain in 16. 52% of people, they voted for Brexit. They were saying that Britain will exit from European Union. 48% were saying, no, we will remain. We will remain in the European Union. So what is the problem? Why they wanted to exit from European Union? The problem is, so as I said, they have signed economic union agreement. So once they sign, they are going to have a common currency, so common policies, in most particularly economic policies. So Britain felt that those economic policies are outdated. Britain felt that they are contributing more to the European Union. Britain felt, kuludungla? Huh? Yes. Yes or no? Right. So, one side, the economic policies are outdated. Another side, Britain is contributing more to European Union. So the people in Britain, they were feeling that Britain is reducing the welfare measures to the people and they are contributing to European Union. Next, the people from Eastern European countries are coming to Britain and they are hijacking the opportunities which were originally present for people in Britain. They come and they are eating the opportunities. Right? So, குளிருதுங்களா கொஞ்சம் ஏசி குறைக்கலாம். Right. So these were the problems which the people in Britain were facing and they wanted to come out of this European Union. So a referendum was conducted. So in 2017, the Lisbon Treaty was triggered. According to this treaty, 2 years of time will be given to the exiting country to arrive at a future deal of trade with European Union countries. That means in the 2 years, Britain is given a chance to strike an agreement between European Union nations for future trade. Illa sir, I am not interested. In that case, after 2 years, if at all Britain wants to strike a deal, they cannot strike a deal with the entire European Union. Rather, they have to go behind individual countries. Are you clear? Here the problem is, what happened? Off பண்ணிட்டாங்களா? புரியலைங்க. இன்னும் குறைக்கணுமா? இல்லை அதாவது இல்லை அவங்களுக்கு குளிர் தான். 20ல் இருக்கிறத 25 26 ஏற்றிடுங்க. பரவாயில்ல 26 எல்லாத்தையும் 25 வச்சிருங்க எல்லாத்தையுமே. ரைட், என்ன சொன்னேன்? லாஸ்ட் டாபிக். Okay, 2 years. Right. So here there's a problem in arriving at a deal. So Britain from 2017, right, the then Prime Minister Theresa May, so she was coming up with a plan which was called as Chequers plan. Chequer is the place where she lives. That building is called as Chequer, the Chequers plan. However, her plan was not getting approval from British Parliament. So reason enna? If you see, if you take the Britain, you have 4 regions. One is England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. Here, the Britain and England and Wales, they want to exit. Scotland and Northern Ireland, they want to remain in the European Union. So, இதை கூட இங்கே வாங்க, இதையும் கொஞ்சம் 25ல் வைங்க. Okay, that's okay. Fine. Church. 25, okay. So as I said, what is the problem? The problem, the Scotland and the Northern Ireland, they want to stay. The people in Northern Ireland and Scotland, basically they even till now, they don't identify themselves as Englishmen. You go and see, you go to Jammu and Kashmir. So, particularly this Northern Ireland, this Scotland, Wales, England, it is completely a single mass, which is isolated, which is it's a kind of island. But if you take this Northern Ireland, it shares border with Ireland. Entire Ireland was a British colony. Then they were able to manage only Northern Ireland under their control. But still Northern Ireland, they have a better connection with Ireland than with other parts of Britain. Okay. So the problem is, once you come out of European Union, then I will show the map. Try to remember this. Yes, you see, this Northern Ireland, okay, they have a very good integration with Ireland. When we are walking out of European Union, then there will be a hard border between these two countries, because customs union is bringing free movement of people. But when I come out of European Union, that means what? There is going to be a hard border. People to people movement is restricted. Trade is restricted. So, the Theresa May was coming up with a deal which was going for a soft border. Right? That means Theresa May was saying that though we come out of European Union, Northern Ireland and Ireland will have a soft border. However, the Parliament was not accepting for such concession. Coming out means completely coming out. Right? Then came Boris Johnson. So he was amending this. That agreement called the deal was called as Backstop Agreement, basically. Okay? That is ensuring soft border between Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland. So Boris Johnson, the newly elected Prime Minister, was coming up with a different agreement. Different customs agreement, different agreement. So what he was saying, see, this Northern Ireland is sharing border with Ireland. Then we have Britain here. Now there's a chance. Let us say if there is going to be a soft border, any other goods from European Union after exiting, any other good when it enters Britain, Britain will put import duty. Now, if there is no hard border, then the European Union goods can enter Ireland. From Ireland they can enter Northern Ireland. From Northern Ireland they can enter Britain without paying taxes. So what he said, the goods entering Britain from Northern Ireland, right, will be taxed. If it is not from Ireland, then it will be refunded. Are you getting my point? Similarly, goods entering Northern Ireland will be taxed. However, if that is not sold in Ireland, then the tax amount will be refunded. How? We do not know. It is complicated more than, the GST oda mosam. GST refund itself is very difficult, but he is coming up with a novel idea. However, the Parliament said no. Exiting means exiting. He got irritated. He said, I am calling for election. I want more number of seats. People, you give me a better mandate. He called for an early election in December, 12th of December. Parallelly, the time given, 2 years time given was, right, it was getting, it was coming to an end. So they gave a 3 months extension. European Union, they said, try to tell us before January 31st. Right? He called for an election. So we have to wait and watch. Puriyudungla? Whatever I said. I have given some few extra points. Right? You can, when you read, you will understand. What is the consequence of no deal? Assume that even there is no deal arrived. Then what will happen? As I said, they have to strike a deal individually apart from the sea. So EU will be carrying out checks on British goods. There is no trade agreement. Then laws will be stringent, delay at ports, traffic bottlenecks, damage to economy. They may even lead to recession. These are the consequences of Britain if this deal is not being made at the given time. Next one is INSTEX. INSTEX, it is an instrument used as exchange during trade. But let me explain something else before INSTEX. Iran, especially after the Islamic Revolution, Iranian Revolution, post 1970s. Till 1970, it was a democratic country. The ruler was supporting USA. So Iran, post 1970 revolution, right? The relationship between America and Iran was not so conducive. Adhukku enna reason na Iran and Saudi Arabia are enemies. Saudi Arabia and USA are friends. USA will supply weapons. Saudi Arabia will supply oil. Saudi Arabia dominated by Sunni Muslims, Iran Shia Muslims, right? So okay, fine. இந்த ஸ்டோரிக்குள்ள போகல. So Iran was developing some nuclear technology which USA felt that these technology is not for peace purpose, rather it is they are creating weapon. Alright, so naturally occurring uranium will have U-235 and U-238. U-235 has to be enriched for developing weapon. You have to enrich up to 4% for producing energy, enrich up to 80% for developing weapons. Naturally occurring uranium will have U-235 in a very less amount, 0.5, 0.6, something like that. So a slight enrichment is required for even for developing power for peaceful purposes. Okay, US was imposing sanctions on Iran, saying that they are developing weapons. The sanctions were removed, lifted in the year 2015 through an agreement called as Joint Comprehensive JC Plan of Action. P5 countries: USA, Russia, China, France, UK, plus Germany, P5 plus 1. 6 countries, they were lifting the sanctions through an agreement. According to this agreement, Iran said that we will reduce the enrichment of uranium. How much uranium stocks we can, the raw material stocks we can place, there was a limitation imposed. Last year, Trump unilaterally, he withdrew from this JCPOA agreement, saying that no, Iran is still working on developing the nuclear capacity. So they were reimposing sanctions and Iran was facing crisis. The other 5 countries were not reimposing sanctions. They are still with the agreement. So, but however, they were not doing any big trade. They are not saying that they are imposing sanctions. At the same time, they are not encouraging trade also. Iran strictly said that I will start enriching uranium because one person has went. What is the deal between you 5 countries and Iran? Now USA has reimposed sanctions, so these countries cannot use dollar for trade. Right? So they have to find an alternative. So these 5 countries, right, apart from the USA, these 5 countries, they found an alternative called as INSTEX. So this INSTEX is an instrument used in trade for exchanging goods. Something like a paper. Okay, it is a kind of barter system. Let us say Iran is purchasing 100 rupees worth of good. Iran is purchasing 100 rupees worth of good from Germany. Iran will give 100 rupees worth of paper, something. It is said that 100 rupees purchase has been made. This is 100 rupees worth of INSTEX. Now Germany is purchasing 100 rupees worth of good from Iran. They can give that paper and they can purchase. Right? But they have to make sure that, so here there's no scope for surplus or deficit trade. Right? INSTEX should match the exports and imports. Or else apart from that, it is not useful. Right? And also, right now, they are using this INSTEX for exporting and importing humanitarian goods like medicine, food. Right? Only for those. So Iran says that we have to come forward. Right? We have more scope to trade. We have to go beyond INSTEX, but still INSTEX is a improvement for conducting trade between Iran and these 5 countries, apart from this US. Right? Instrument in support of trade exchanges. Instrument in support of trade exchanges. Right. First time in South Asia, there is a transboundary pipeline for carrying petroleum. Right? India, Nepal came with a pipeline which is going to carry petroleum from a place in Bihar, from Bihar to Nepal. Right? What are those 2 places? The 2 places is called as Motihari in Bihar, where we have a refinery called as Brownie. Right? Forget about refinery. Motihari from Bihar and Amlekganj in Nepal. These 2 points are getting connected. 1970s, we signed an agreement through which from Bihar we were transporting petroleum products through trucks, lorries. Right? However, now that is involving large amount of logistical cost. Because of this pipeline, Indian Oil Corporation, they built this pipeline. Because of this pipeline, logistical cost is reduced, so people in Nepal can get petrol at a cheaper price. Why is this important? This is important because this comes in the backdrop of some situations. What situations? Nepal going closer to China. So the relationship between India and China was strained, followed by a blockade we imposed on them. So they were coming up with a newer constitution. We were recommending certain provisions to safeguard the interest of Indian community in Nepal. They were going against it. We were putting economic blockade. So we were losing the confidence of Nepal people because it is a sovereign country. We should not influence or dictate their constitutional arrangements. Right? So Nepal was going closer to China. Even they were planning to build a pipeline. They were planning to build a rail network. I think in last year also, I said about BIMSTEC. SAARC is not performing. We are trying to regenerate the BIMSTEC. So where in Kathmandu, we conducted an annual meet. In that meet, our Prime Minister, he unilaterally announced that we are coming up with a joint military exercise. That's Nepal. They are the host. He got shocked. Our Prime Minister in Pune, we are going to have this joint military exercise. Nepal said, okay, we will come. Thailand is a part of BIMSTEC. They also said, okay, we will come. But they were sending only observers. They were not participating in the exercise. So, these were some backdrops. So now we have to cement the relationship between India and Nepal. So this comes as an opportunity. The opinion which the public in Nepal is having, right, about image, about the India, right, that we have to make this use of this opportunity, and we have to give a different image to the people of Nepal, right? Hong Kong protest, you all know about Hong Kong protest. Hong Kong was with British in 1997. They were handing over Hong Kong to China. While handing over Hong Kong to China, Britain said that for 50 years, you have to give a kind of special administrative status to Hong Kong. They'll have their own currency, they'll have their own passports, they'll have their own economic policies. However, the head of the Hong Kong will be appointed by the Chinese chief. Right? 1997 plus 50. That means they will enjoy this special advantage for 47 years. In Jammu and Kashmir, we simply said temporary. We were not defining it. India, they have clearly defined 50 years. They have better rights. They have different kind of judiciary, policing system. Everything is different in Hong Kong. There's another place called as Macau, near Hong Kong, which was controlled by Portuguese, which was given to China in 1999. Taiwan is a different example. Taiwan, so after the Mao rebellion, the nationalists who were in China, they were going to Taiwan and they were forming a state. China says Taiwan belongs to China. Taiwan says, no, we are an independent state. Right? Chinese Taipei, Chinese Taipei, right? China says. So India also recognized Taiwan as Chinese Taipei because of the pressure from China. Okay, it's a different case. We'll discuss about Hong Kong. So there's an increasing Beijing's influence in Hong Kong is witnessed. People are not happy. The Hong Kong government, they came with an extradition bill. That bill says that a person who committed crime in Hong Kong can be tried in China. Here they have a different judicial system, better rights. In China, it's entirely different. So, whenever, let us say, you express your apprehensions against China's intervention, you protest against China, when you give dissent opinion against China's influence, then you can be taken to China and you can be tried. You have to remember, Interpol, which coordinates the police throughout the world. The Interpol chief from China was missing for 2 months. Last year. Chinese government, they arrested Interpol chief. The world community was not aware for 2 months that where he is. Then they said, yeah, we arrested, corruption charges. China, okay. So people, millions of people, they were coming to roads and they were opposing. So finally, now the Hong Kong government, they withdrew the bill. Right? However, the protest is continuing because the protest is not just about bill. It's about they are asking for better rights in the sense they are looking for a democratic form of government. They are looking for adult franchise, universal adult franchise. Right now, only 1,600 members are participating in the voting process to choose the head of the state. Right? So they want universal adult franchise. The protesters who are arrested has to be released. Like that, they are having some more demands. So, as of now, the extradition bill has been withdrawn, but the protest is continuing. This is regarding Hong Kong protest, right? Why China? Why they withdrew? China is also okay with withdrawing this bill because Hong Kong is contributing in large way to the GDP of China. This protest resulted in fall in the GDP growth. That Hong Kong region that is influencing China also. Given the trade war scenario, this is not right to continue this performance. So they thought we will solve this issue by withdrawing the extradition treaty. But illenna beauty na, the protesters, they were asking Britishers to come for help. Right? Britishers said, yes, thank you, we will also come. However, you have to understand, Britishers, they are coming out of European Union. So they need better trading partners. They are talking with China. Right? Another side, these people are calling. So definitely Britain will not come for help because their personal interest, national interest come first in diplomacy. Right? Even India, when they take a decision, nation's interest comes first. Whenever they come up with dilemmas, what to do, whether to open our mouth in UN or not, something. Right? They will make sure their nation is protected first. This is regarding Hong Kong. Okay, Yemen. So Yemen crisis. We focus more on Syria. We should also know about Yemen. The civil war is ongoing, right? See, in 1990, the Yemen was united. Before that, there was northern Yemen, southern Yemen. The first president was Ali Abdullah. Okay, right? The first person was Ali Abdullah. He was selected in 1990 and he was ruling for 22 years till 2012. Okay. In 2009 there was Arab Springs. 2016 prelims. There's a question. Arab Springs got initiated in which country? Tunisia. Right? An agitation and movement calls for democracy, fight against corruption, fight against poverty, fight for getting more rights. So that Arab Springs movement was coming to Yemen in 2011. People were protesting. So the Ali Abdullah, he was forced to step down. So another person came, his name is Hadi, Mansoor Hadi. Okay, we'll refer him as Hadi. This person assumed power in 2012. Right? Since 1990s, there was one sect of people who were protesting, right, for sharing some power in the government. Right? Houthis, they are called as Houthis. Right? Houthis. Okay? He is the first president, Ali Ahmad. He is the Hadi. Okay? So these people were protesting. So they belong to Shia sect. Iran, Shia. Iran is helping these Houthis. Right? Yemen is sharing border with Saudi Arabia. Map one second. Very important location. Yemen, capital is Sana'a. Right? So Arabian Peninsula. Here we have Strait of Hormuz. Here we have Djibouti. The Strait Bab el Mandeb, right? So we have these two important straits, choking points. Alright? Then we have Red Sea, we have Persian Gulf. So you go through in a separate map class. I'll take the same map, right? We will revise. We'll listen to the story. Okay? 1990 protest for sharing the power. So 2012, Hadi came to power. So he was negotiating with the Houthis. 2015, he came with a power sharing deal, but the deal was not okay for the Houthis. So Houthis, with the help of Iran, they were capturing this capital. They captured the northern part and the capital. These Houthis are community largely settled in northern part. In the government, there is most of the members are from southern region. So they were not happy. That is why they were protesting. So they captured the northern part with the help of Iran. So what happened? Capital is captured. So the Hadi, the president, he went to Saudi Arabia. So he went to Saudi Arabia. And he came back. And he made this Aden as the capital. And he said he will rule from that area. Majority of the ministers were captured in Sana'a. Following this, the Saudi Arabia was shelling airstrikes, or shelling bombs. They went for airstrikes, right, to remove these Houthis. Avanga Shia. They are Saudi Arabia, they fall under Sunni Muslims. That differences is there. Right? So now what happened? This resulted in large amount of life loss. Do you remember Operation Rahat? So biggest rescue conducted by Indian Air Force. So they were bringing all the Indians who were locked in Yemen back to India in 15 because of these events. So civil war, it broke. Right? So now if you look into the current scenario, basically one side you have Saudi Arabia and the Yemen government, which is recognized. But the northern part of Yemen is largely controlled by Houthis. Saudi Arabia and the Sunni allies, UAE, everyone, right? They were backing, they were launching strikes on Sana'a. But Iran was giving very good support to the Houthis. Saudi Arabia is again backed by USA, UK, France, everybody, they sell weapons, they get oil. But still Saudi is not able to win. But still, till now it is going on, Saudi is not able to win. If you take the today's reality, from 2007 I guess, one more group they started protesting. They are called the Southern protesters. They said, we want democracy. We don't want to fight and all. Now we are going to protest so that we will divide the Yemen into north and south like earlier. Right? Southern I will control. So now there are three players now. One is Houthis, who are controlling some northern part of Yemen. Then southern protesters, they are controlling southern part of Yemen. There is a so-called government. Mansour Hadi is the president, right? And he is recognized as the president of Saudi Arabia recognized as the president of Yemen because of influence of Saudi, USA, etc. Right? This is the current scenario. Despite of having this much amount of support, they are not able to win. They are not able to control. Right? So, this is the proxy war actually. In Yemen, some other places are fighting. Right? Either use Islamic State, IS. They want to use the opportunity. Al-Qaeda, they want to use the opportunity. They also want to seize some territory for their influence. So one editorial was in news. Right? The author was saying that why Saudi is not able to win. The reason is they are conducting airstrikes. With airstrikes, you cannot win any war. Civil war, but still, you have to go in land and you have to capture the land area. Right? So much of crisis. Recently also, world's biggest cholera outbreak was seen in Yemen. Right? 1 million people were suffering because of cholera. In this scenario, Saudi Arabia also went for a blockade, economic blockade, trade blockade. And they are the closest country to supply food, medicines, water, etc. They were not supplying. Right? This issue is ongoing. Okay? Right? Shall I? Let me show the topics first. Then you say, the first one is regarding economic slowdown. The reasons why there is a slowdown, what we have to do. Right? How to address the problem. Next, why there is a dip in automobile sector sale. We will address the reasons for decline. The Honorable Finance Minister said it is the Ola and Uber was the culprit for this automobile dip growth, right? So we will see whether is there any fact behind what our Honorable Finance Minister said. Regarding compensation to the states, I hope you remember 5 years central government promised that we will compensate. 5 years is coming to an end. Still states are not able to get revenue neutrality. Regarding that, external benchmark linked lending rates. Base rate MCLR, you might know, this is the next level of reform. This is regarding external benchmark linked lending rates. RBI transfer a huge amount of money, right? Regarding RBI transfers. In detail, I have also made a video, very short video, but this is in detail. Okay. Then the Jammu and Kashmir issue and trade war impacts on Indian rupee. How it is impacting Indian rupee. Then prudential framework for resolution of stress tests, I explained in the first class also, but there are some newcomers, new faces. Right? The next topic will be IBC. IBC has an amendment in the month of August. So what was that amendment that I thought of explaining? So these many topics I planned, but however, we will stop here. I don't want to test your patience. How many topics we have done? 30? 32. But our target should be at least 40. 25 classes into 40, we can touch the 1000 mark. At least 800. We have to do, right? Slowly we'll increase the pace, as well as we'll try to cover more topics. I hope the class was useful. We'll see next class. Thank you.